Hey guys, and happy Saturday. I thought I'd just have a little conversation with you guys today, real quick. We have reached a milestone. I guess it's a milestone. I really would like to get to 100, but 50 is a good start. 50,000 subscribers. And really, it's because of your watch time, your comments, and your likes that really help the videos get suggested on YouTube. It's not just I can make all the videos I want, but if YouTube doesn't suggest them, then it's just time wasted. So um, I really appreciate all you guys for all your help. I'd love to talk to you guys at the swap meets and at the shows. I try to, you know, make time in my filming of those things to stop and talk to you guys as we go. So yeah, that's a good time if you want to talk about stuff. I've had several people ask me, "Hey, can you give me your phone number?" I can't do that with everyone. I just have a few people that I do because I have another business that gets really sometimes can get really busy. But since October of last year, it's been completely dead. And it's never been like that before. So it's kind of weird, kind of reaching some uncharted territory. YouTube has been basically a full-time thing for me, and it's not enough to live on. So anytime if you see those Amazon things that are up there, if you just click on those and buy something when you're buying something anyway, or whatever, if you're going to Amazon, click on my links, go there. It helps a little bit. Again, anything you guys have do, which is, like doing things like making your comments and share the videos on your Facebook or whatever, that all helps too, because watch time is what really helps to pay the bills. And again, like I said, I never planned on this being my source of revenue. I've always made pretty darn good money in the sign business. For those of you guys who don't know, I paint for national sign companies. I'm a painting contractor, but I also have a license to do non-illuminated signs. So I do some door vinyl and stuff like that. It's not just painting. I do some ATM surrounds, which are basically done with automotive paint. I don't typically hand paint letters. I usually don't do that, but I have done it, and I learned doing that many years ago. But I'm not really a hand sign painter like people might think. They think painter painted letters. That's kind of dead. Not many people do that anymore. It's more expensive than door vinyl and vinyl, so they just go that direction. But anyway, that's real quick what I do. It's kind of like economically reminding me a little bit of 2007. And it was really kind of dead then, but the difference is there's this really massive inflation. Some people say it's price gouging. It's really not. It's inflation. It's on every product, service, everything. There are some people that are price gouging as well, but it's just basically everything's inflated. So that being said, it's eating up money a lot faster than what I'm used to. So it's just kind of disheartening, but it's not a real huge problem for me. And I am selling this not because I'm desperate or anything like that. It's because I bought this to do on YouTube to teach metalwork, to teach people how to do some of the stuff that they need to do on their buses. Was the primary reason for buying this. So yeah, it's finally got to go. I could use the capital again, but again, I'm not desperate. I'm not trying to off it so cheap, or whatever, anything like that. I've got to get a decent amount of money. It's up for sale for $57,000 right now, and I think that's a really fair price for what it is. Something like this, somebody could spend. I've got a guy interested in it, and I don't know if I'm willing to work with his numbers, but look, something like this is not going to come up for sale because this is a really good deal for that price. So let's say you bought a project and you were trying to build it and you took it to a metalwork guy and all this other stuff, and then you got done, you'd be in something like this about 120,000. Now it would look a lot nicer than this, okay? But you can't pay somebody to do this. You can't pay them. They're because they're going to go around and pick it all apart and look for every little thing, and then you just end up giving them $120,000, deal for half the money. So like I say, for instance, so maybe it wouldn't be 120, but it would be up there pretty high. Let's say you bought a project bus for about 20 grand. Okay, you took it into a metalwork guy in the whole shop. It would cost you about 70 for them to do it, plus your parts, plus the engine. You're at about near $100,000. And of course the camper interior, that's around another 10 grand to have a shop do it. So it's a pretty good opportunity for someone at 57, I think. And I don't think it's too much. You let me know in the comments what you think. If it's too much, you think it's should be less, whatever. Should be more. Let me know. I'd like to see what you have to say on that. Just my main thing is right now is the registration and insurance on all these vehicles. It's pretty expensive. So yeah, I've got to, cut that monthly expense down. But there is a bit of concern. I'm almost wondering if everything's ever going to come back. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. I mean, what's happening with you? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I know some people have mentioned that the only thing that they have to do, really, they can do is watch YouTube because it's been pretty tough. What I have to say about this is it's kind of like there's two different people. There's the haves and the have-nots. There's a lot of people that during the pandemic and stuff like that, they were able to refinance their home and get a really low rate. And they just lowered their expenses way down, and their job is basically they were able to transfer it to work at home. And so those people are like $1,000 a month ahead of what they were before. So it's really benefited them. And then there's some people, maybe it's like you, that's paying rent somewhere, and the rents have skyrocketed, just crazy numbers. And I think the reason that is because what happened is I think some people got cash out of their home and they went out and bought another home. And, because they were in such good financial shape because their job was able to work from home and all that other stuff. And so it kind of ate up the inventory for all the homes that were for sale. And along with the cheap interest rates, they were able to have two homes and stuff like that. So I don't think that this is just, people say there's a housing shortage. I don't think it's really, okay, if there was a housing shortage, this problem would have been stretched out over a longer period of time. This happened within a year. So to me, it's got to be something that happened because of what was going on during the pandemic. But anyway, there's a lot of people that are, I think, really suffering right now because they've got really high rent, or they had to buy a house after the prices have gotten way too high, or the interest rates are where they are now, which is completely out of line with payments. Everything's made based on payments. So if you can't afford, people can't buy because there's very few people that can buy right now because of the payments, but there's also very low inventory because a lot of people have really good interest rates or, things like that are keeping them in their homes. I'm expecting to have, this is, like I said, this has been like another 2007 kind of. It's a different one again because it's a different situation. Everything's different, but it's still the same in a lot of ways, because the sign business is a good indicator of economic problems or benefits. When there's a lot of signs getting installed, I come in when there's when there's a lot of it. When there's very little going on, they don't call me. And so as an indicator for you guys who are interested, I really think that we're about to hit a job loss. And once that happens, even if somebody has a low interest rate, if you take away one income from a house, you're going to have people that are going to get foreclosed on. And I believe we're going to have another strong recession, but it's going to be kind of different. It's going to be like the haves and the have-nots. The people that had have the jobs that were able to work at home, that lowered their expenses $1,000 a month altogether. They don't have to. They still are working at home. They don't have to commute anymore. That's fuel cost and mortgage costs. You add those two things together, that's like around $1,000. So those people will probably weather this okay, unless they get laid off, unless both people get laid off. Who knows? But this is what I'm looking at. And once it starts to go down, the sign business gets really busy. Why? Because companies go under, they have to change their signs. That's just the way it is. It does. In 2008, I did really well. 2007 was terrible. So if you're wondering what's going on, I kind of know what's going on. I've been around the block again, and I was well capitalized before this started. So unlike a lot of people, but I do need income because it still costs money to live. And thank goodness for YouTube and you guys that have been loyal and watching, because if it wasn't for this, I don't know what I'd do. I think I'd already just be out of here, just because it would be eating up money way too fast. But anyway, that's just what I think's going on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know what's happening with you, whatever. And we can all work together to help one another, whatever, and try to get things rolling. And hopefully none of you guys lose your VW projects, because some people have. But I hope none of you guys get in that situation. But yeah, so I really need to build an engine for this thing here, and I need a trailer to take it places, because it's just, that's part of the problem. So I've got this 40 here. I also have a dual relief case over there, but I was thinking about this thing, and part of the reason I haven't done it yet is because, again, I'm just not wanting to spend money. It's not because I don't have it. It's because, got to watch everything. I got to think about what's going on 6 months from now or a year from now, and where I'm going to be at, how I'm going to survive through things, because, everybody at some point runs out of money. It would take a miracle, but we still need to be careful. So I've been thinking about the bucket truck and what I'm going to do with it. And honestly, I could do two different directions. I could build something like a bulletproof engine to pull that thing around, like the 2007, low compression, and build it really, aluminum case, do, full flow, cooler. And honestly, then I'm going to have to go towards, putting some brakes on it, because it doesn't stop where the crap, okay? It would need disc brakes if I start doing that. And honestly, I'm still going to only drive it 55 miles an hour. So that thing was never made to drive on the highway, and that was, I believe, why the engine blew in that thing. So so I've been debating, what to do. And I think what I'm going to do at this point is, I've got this 40 here. I'll send this case out to get machined, and pretty sure it needs a line bore. That's my guess. And get a fresh line bore on it. I'm going to put cam bearings in it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, because the big engine would cost me like 5,000-6,000 probably, I don't know, in just in parts to build. So yeah, let me know what you think on that. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, but that's what it is. Because I would need a brand new aluminum case, full flow. By the time I took another case and I made it into put all that machine work in it, I'd be into it the same amount of money. So I might as well just buy the aluminum one. Be stronger for the engine. But if I bought all that stuff and I stroke a crank, you know, what are they called? Rods, chromoly rods, camshaft, performance camshaft, and have to get like probably have to get one of those, you know, with the cam gear, buy cam gear, all that stuff add up to a lot of money. So even at the prices I can get stuff from, which are special, I got a little bit of a deal sometimes, but still it ain't much of a deal. There's no deals like what you guys might think in Volkswagen parts. So if I bought all those parts, it would probably cost me $4,000 to $6,000, I'm going to say, roughly. So if I can build this, I'm thinking probably about $1,200. I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't really know until I take this to the machine shop and see how much all that stuff costs. Like I said, inflation's been shocking me. When I go to get something done, I go, whoa, how much? Oh my God, you know, I didn't expect that, you know. So same thing you guys are doing. So when I buy all the parts to build this, then I could have it still be original looking, and then I could just spend the extra money and buy a trailer to tow it places, so I don't have to, you know, once I get it, let's say I go to Orange County, throw it on a trailer, take it to Orange County, I'll have a diesel pickup. I have this truck, this thing will tow anything. And I can put it on the trailer, take it to Orange County. Once I get it there, I can take it off and just drive it. You know, I don't need to have it on the trailer. You know, it's a driver in the cities. It just getting places on the highway is what was, I think, just what burned up the engine. So I'm thinking here, guys, this is what I might do. And this is the original fan shroud. And with the original fan shroud, the air cleaner fits better. So I'll use that. It's the right one. Then everything will fit. Versus I would have to do aftermarket stuff for everything. Like air cleaner would have to be aftermarket, all that stuff. And it's also, this engine here is meant to sit there and idle all day or whatever, 40 horse. So I'm thinking about what I'm going to do here. We can comment on this. Let me know what you guys think. Is I'm going to build the 40 horse, and I'm going to do this so you guys know that have never done this before. You can take a cam, like a regular cam like this one. This is a stock 40 horse. This is the cam that came out of that engine. This is a stock 40 horse cam. I can turn this in over at Brothers Machine Shop, and they will grind one of those into an Engel 100 or 110. They can do either one. And then I'll get reground lifters. So I'll put an Engel 100 in this, and then to give it a little more poop, and do the heads, 3-angle them, and I'm going to do some port work on those and help it get just a little more power. So go 1385, port work, cam, and give it just a little more power to get around town. That way it'll do its job better in the city than it even did. It did have didn't have a performance cam, but it did have a ratio rockers, and it also had a big bore kit on it, and it still was just a real slug in the city, you know. So I'm figuring out just pump it up just enough. I don't want to get it too rough of idle, so I'll stay with like a Engel 100, and I'll put this together, and we'll do an engine build on that as soon as I can, you know, justify it. We're gonna go to a friend of mine's shop, and we'll take these over there, and he's got all the stuff to do the heads, so I don't have to pay for that. I mean, I'll probably give him something, but nothing like a regular shop. And mostly I have everything else, but I'm gonna keep it 12 volts. So I'm gonna take the engine out that's in there, put all the tin, you know, put all the 12 volt stuff on it, and then I'll use this fan shroud. I might put, I think there was some reason I need to put the stale air heater boxes in it. I think it's also because this one is a stale air setup, right? Yeah, it's a stale air. So I think I was going to put Stellar heater boxes in, but there's also some clearance issues that I think I'm going to use that. Just go with that. And then just make it all original looking again. And then, but it'll have a little more performance. But it's not going to be a trailer queen. It's just going to be trailered into wherever it goes, and then, you know, once I get there, I'll drive it, because I love driving that thing. I just don't want to drive it from Riverside to Orange County. I want to be able to take it to Kelly Park, and the only way it's going there is on a trailer. It's the problem with that is, I'm going to show you guys this real quick. This thing needs a special trailer, because these outriggers, so if you don't have a deck over trailer, okay, these will hit the fenders. So I've been looking at a couple of trailers. Okay, I have a friend that has one for sale. He might sell me. But it has little railings that are like 3 inches high on the sides, and the fenders are really low on it. But I think even getting it up on the trailer, those are going to hit as it's going up, because you're going to be at an angle this way, then it goes this way. So if I put it on like a driveway, backed it off onto a driveway so that it was level, it would probably work. But that seems almost like a pain, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I might end up going to another state and buying a deck over trailer, because the ones in this state, they're like 10 grand, and there's just no way I'm spending that kind of money. Oh, about 8 grand plus tax and all the California garbage. But if I buy it in another state, I can avoid some of that, you know, pay their taxes, which is probably less. Almost everywhere in this state, it's 9%. 8, 8.75, 9, depends on where you get it from. It's crazy. So anyway, that's stuff coming up. I just thought I'd just go over some of the stuff with you guys. You can comment on it, let me know what you think. And then I do read the comments, and I do get good information from some of you guys, and you guys have helped me, you know, make decisions. So I appreciate any input you give me. I think the 40 horse is the way to go, because like I said, I'm saving a lot of money by building it. Then I can just buy what I need, which is a trailer. That thing shouldn't be driven on the freeway anyway. It really shouldn't. And maybe a couple exits, but not, you know, 40 miles, 30 miles, no way. This thing's never done that in its whole life, ever. Never. So it's the first time it's ever gone, probably, you know, 100 kilometers. I probably was the first one to ever do that in that thing. So anyway, but yeah, I want to put an engine in it, and then just in town drive. You know, I can drive from here to like Ontario and never see a freeway, and just it'd probably be fine doing that. It's just when you get to like 55 miles per hour, 100 kilometers, whatever in there, you're just constantly on the floor, and it's just, I think it's just too much. And then when it goes up those hills, it's just straining like crazy up the little hills up and down on the freeway, and it's just straining like crazy to do that. Where if I go 45 or 50 on the side streets, it's not really straining. It's not doing that. So yeah, it takes a lot of strain to get it up to speed, but that's different than being at full speed when you're flooring it, going up and down those grades, those little things. It's just way too much for that, you know, for that thing. It just was never designed for that. So anyway, I just thought I'd go over some of that stuff. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Hopefully, thank you so much for getting us up there. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let me see your comments. I'll talk to you later.